You know, when you see something incredible like the Taj Mahal, you're looking at so much more than just beautiful marble and centuries of history. You're actually seeing the results of a vast, almost invisible system, a complex machine of policy, technology, and people all working behind the scenes to protect it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the blueprint for that very machine.
Right. So we've all seen those stunning postcard-perfect shots. We marvel at the architecture, the artistry, the sheer history of it all. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really keeping these treasures standing? What's the system that protects them from just fading away? Who's making the big calls on their care? That's exactly what we're going to dive into.
And look, this goes so much deeper than just, patching up a few old walls. To preserve the very soul of a nation, you need a real system, a deep, interconnected network. So our first stop is to look right past that glossy postcard image and understand what this invisible machinery is actually made of.
Okay, so at its core, you've got this huge, tangled network. It's this incredible weave of three key things: official government policy, some really cutting-edge technology, and maybe the most important piece of all, people. We're talking everyone from the top experts to the local communities. So let's break down how these pieces all fit together.
All right, every great project needs a blueprint, right? And this is no different. We're going to start at the very top, with the policy and the governance. Basically, the official rule book that guides every single preservation effort happening across the entire country. So, just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, look at this number, 42. That's how many UNESCO World Heritage Sites there are in India. That's huge. This isn't just a national project. It's a global commitment. And to manage that, you need a system that is absolutely world-class. And right at the heart of this entire system is one key player: the Archaeological Survey of India, or the ASI. Now, these guys have been around since 1861, so they know what they're doing. They are the guardians-in-chief, the national agency with the monumental task of conserving and managing thousands of protected sites. So, let's break down how this blueprint actually works in the real world. It all starts at the top, with the Ministry of Culture, which sets the big picture vision. That vision then flows down to the ASI, who are the ones doing the boots-on-the-ground work, and all of it is guided by India's own national policies while also being held to the highest global standards set by UNESCO. It's a really clear top-down structure.
All right, so we've got the who and the what. Now for the really cool part, the how. This next piece is absolutely fascinating because it's where ancient wisdom really meets modern invention.
And this is where things get super interesting. You've got this amazing contrast, right? On one side, you have the traditional methods, the delicate scientific work happening in specialized labs, all focused on preventing decay. But then, on the other side, you have this explosion of digital innovation. We're talking about 3D mapping that documents every single crack and crevice, virtual tours that open up these sites to the entire world, and massive online archives. It's truly the best of both worlds. And here's a perfect example of how those two worlds come together. It's a project called Adopt a Heritage, and it's a brilliant idea. It basically invites companies and even regular citizens to step up and become stewards of a heritage site. They often bring in their own tech and resources, creating this powerful partnership between the public, the private sector, and technology.
But, and this is so important, heritage isn't just about stone and mortar. It's not just about buildings. It's alive. It's in the traditions, the art, and the communities that have kept these practices going for centuries.
I mean, think about it. You can't just touch this kind of heritage. It's in the rhythm of a classical dance, the discipline of yoga, or the incredible skill of a craft that's been passed down from one generation to the next. These are India's living treasures, and the system has dedicated national academies to make sure these traditions don't just survive, but they actually thrive.
And of course, you can't protect a living heritage without the people who are, living it. That's where engaging the local community is absolutely crucial. Through programs like HRID, which is short for Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana, the goal is to actually weave heritage right into the fabric of modern city life, making locals true partners in its preservation.
Okay, so we've seen all the pieces. What does it all add up to? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture, the wider impact. Because this is all about securing a legacy for the future, which means we have to talk about the economy, education, and sustainability. This chart really spells it out, doesn't it? Of course, a huge piece of the pie is tourism and the economy. That makes sense. But look closer. The rest is split evenly between education and sustainability.
It just goes to show that this system isn't only about preserving the past, it's about investing in a smarter, more connected future. It's a really holistic vision.
You've definitely seen those incredible India campaigns, right? Well, that's this system in action. It's a direct line connecting all that careful preservation work to real economic growth and global visibility. They do this by creating these dedicated tourist circuits that literally guide you through the country's amazing history. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you make sure all this lasts? You've got to pass the torch to the next generation, and the system is designed to do exactly that. It starts with things like heritage clubs in schools, just to get kids curious. Then it builds on that with deep-dive university courses and makes history come alive through museum programs. These sites become living classrooms for the next guardians of this legacy.
So if we had to boil this whole massive, invisible machine down to just 3 core ideas, this would be it. Preservation of the past, inclusivity for the people in the present, and innovation to secure the future. That's really the philosophy at the heart of it all.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? We've just seen how one of the world's most ancient civilizations is building this incredible system to protect its legacy. It kind of makes you think, no matter where you are in the world, what are we doing to make sure that our culture, our stories, our traditions become a vibrant legacy for all the generations that are still to come?